We are live. We are live. Y'all come on in. I have a special guest tonight.
Special.
You are. You are. Hey, we all traveling this journey together.
Yes. Damn.
Yes, we have someone coming in. Where's my comments? Can you see the comments on your end?
I can see it on my phone, not on my screen.
Okay.
Not on this. I'm on my Facebook page and on this.
Oh, okay, great, awesome. Yeah, you might have to help me out with the comments because I can't. I can see them coming in, but I don't know. I don't see anybody coming. Let me see.
Hey everybody.
Hello, everyone. Y'all
Got
are
Sarah
rolling in.
Alexander. You got Carmen Davis.
Okay,
Hey
y'all
Sheila.
coming in, huh? Oh, I see them. Hey, Tiara. I see y'all now. Y'all know a sister be trying to work this stuff over here. Well, y'all come on in. We are so sorry about last week. I had some technical difficulty. Did Brandy leave? Oh no, what happened? Oh, there she goes. She's coming back. I don't know if I did something. I just like, where
That
did
was me trying to figure out how to share it to my page, honey. That was me being bootleg.
Even if you're not able to share it now, we're able to share it once we're done as well. So
yes, ma'am.
yeah. So everyone, welcome to our brand new Screen Yard Live. This show is all about sharing the inspiring stories of successful individuals and how they navigated through life. But I am here to guide you towards the best version of you. This show is all about sharing those stories and how these individuals navigated through life, through their ups and downs of life. We're all on different journeys of life, but they're going to help us navigate through their journeys of life and how they achieve their goals. And I definitely believe that we will learn something from this young lady's story here, you guys. So are you ready to embark on the transformative journey of Miss Brandy Bonhart? Miss Brandy is a mom. She's a wife. She's in ministry. She's a graphic designer and a photographer. You all, I'm going to give a round of applause. Y'all can give your little hands up. Welcome, Miss Brandy. How are you tonight?
Nervous.
Nervous? Don't be nervous.
Thank you for having me. I'm always nervous. Anytime I gotta speak, anytime I gotta do anything, I'm nervous. I guess that's God humble. Because truly I just love what I'm doing. So it's not something that I ever thought anybody would want me to talk about, speak about, or anything. I just do what I do.
You got this, girl. So just, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, you done summed it up. No, I'm just playing.
Give us more.
Where do I begin? Go all the way back to childhood. My father was in the military, married to my mom. I got a divorce. He got custody of me, gave me to his grandparents. A lot of people don't know that I was raised by my grandparents and my dad. My uncle was we were raised as brother and sister because we were like 8 years apart.
Oh,
so
wow.
My journey starts kind of like there in Monroe, Georgia, in a household full of Army people and educators. You was either going to go to the military or you was either going to teach. I'm going to say it one more time. You was either going to go to the military or you was either going to teach. There was no other option. So I always had the ability to lead. I always loved teaching people things from the time I can remember back in middle school. Well, not even middle school, all the way back to primary school. I would get through with all my work and try to help everybody else finish theirs because I wanted to play and talk. Then came on through life, had some ups and downs and trials and tribulations. And I'll let you ask questions so you can, get into the details of that. But went off to college on a basketball scholarship. Played for a little while, set out for a little while, then was going to go to Holland to play basketball, injured my back. And so I went from there and went off and just trying to find myself. You know, when you get to a certain age where you thought that you was gonna do something and life throws you a curveball. When it was like when basketball was taken from me, it was like my whole life was just like on like on a standstill, because my dream was never to play in the WNBA. I never thought I was that good, but my dream was to coach. I wanted to be able to coach. And I still can do that. But when life threw me that curveball, it sent me into a depressive stage. And without basketball, I felt like, well, what am I here for? So I went through some ups and downs and went through life, got pregnant, had my first child, then got married, had my second child. And then my dad from me. He was murdered. And as I was sitting there sifting through the photos,
I think she'll be back. Here she comes.
as I was sitting there sifting through the photos of when my dad passed, I noticed that I was in the majority of the photos. So I'm like, was I taking all these photos?
Wow.
And so dealing with that loss, when you have a spiritual gift, everybody wants to be, and I'm gonna talk a little spiritual, you know, for some of y'all.
Oh, you're
But
fine. Yeah.
everybody wants to be a pastor, apostle, prophet. They want all different gifts, but they don't want the warfare that comes with it. And for me, I've always been a different child. I could see things and know things before they happen. And so I saw my dad's death before it happened. I saw my great grandmama pass before it happened. I saw my ex-boyfriend die before it happened. And so knowing these things and experiencing these things and knowing that I can't do anything about it kind of did something here in my mind. So when my dad did die, as I saw it, it just put me in a place. And so as I was sitting there looking at those photos, I said, you know what? I don't have basketball no more, but it seems like photography may be my passion. And so I went down that journey of going to photography school. My first husband, because I'm married second time, but my first husband went off to the military, because like I said, if you're in my family, you either gonna do what? You do it or military. So my grandma was like, I don't care, you married in, you ain't doing that, then you going to the military.
I love it.
So we went out to the military, got injured, and came home. And we both was kind of like sifting through trying to find ourselves. And I wound up at Gwinnett Tech at photography. Loved it. I'm talking about loved it. Loved going into that black room. During that time, digital was really big. DSLR and SLR cameras were really big. And they required you to start off on a Canon, because Nikon is a little different. It has more stuff in it than it shouldn't have. And Canon is more friendly. Use it. Look, some people, to each his own, but I'm a Canon girl. So, but the first camera I had in my hand was a film camera. And they taught you how to shoot with natural lighting, and taught you how to do things on that film camera. That's amazing. And to go inside a dark room and to see your picture develop right before your eyes, it's amazing. It's like, wow, I did that. Because with a digital camera, you got that screen, you take that picture, you can look at it, you can see what you've done, you can delete it if you don't like it. But when you're using film, it's just what it is. You can't change it, you can't alter it, you can dodge it and burn it. Dodge it and burn it means you can make it a little bit darker in the areas where it's too light, you can make it a little light in the areas where it's too dark. But ultimately, it's what you did. And it just gave me some sense of peace to know that I could trap your memories for a lifetime. And at the moment that you leave this earth, that memory will still be here on paper. And it gave me some, some drive. And for years, that's what I would do. I don't just snap pictures. It's not just snapping pictures for me. It's a lifestyle. And then that got taken from me.
Oh, wow.
I had a house fire and lost my camera. Had to pawn a lot of my equipment because we were in and out of hotels. It just became rough. So I went back down into another slump because I was putting my energy and my focus into the gifts and the talents instead of the God that I'm serving. At the moment that God got me alone, and got me in a space to appreciate what he was doing in my life and understand that he is the air that I breathe, not the gifts and the talents that he gave me. That's used, to help out man. That's used to, because your gifts will make room for you. So that's used to help income come in. But of God that we have these things. And so once my relationship developed further with God, then he gave me another avenue because everybody wants to be a photographer. Come on, everybody's snapping photos, everybody's doing videos, and you're in competition with the next person where such and such can do my wedding for $250. And I'm like, okay, well, for $250, like with a car, you get what you pay for, right? You can't
Exactly.
go to a BMW lot with
Right.
Lexus money, even though Lexus is still a luxury car. It ain't a BMW.
Right.
Come on, let's keep it real.
Exactly.
You can't go to a BMW lot and want a Lamborghini. You just can't do that. You got BMW money. You can't. It don't work that way. And what I mean by that is, you might buy the Lamborghini, but if you ain't got money to fix it when it break down and keep the upkeep of it, then you still in the pickle.
Right. Gotta know your value.
You gotta know your value. And so I just could not lower my standards, because, and 9 times out of 10, what would happen is they would get somebody else to take it, and then they would call me and ask me, could I fix it?
Oh, wow.
How do you get it to look like yours? And I'm like, I don't like messing with other people's work. And then sometimes stuff is fuzzy, blurry. And I was like, God, give me something, because my camera is down. And I don't mind renting a camera to, do my shoots, but you're going to have to pay me. And so God said, well, while I was in school, I learned how to do graphic work, because you learn how to use Adobe Photoshop, Adobe Bridge, Lightroom, all those different things to alter your photos, because some photographers may want to be in commercial photography. And of course, in commercial photography, a lot of that stuff is airbrushed on camera. A lot of that stuff is taking somebody out of one picture and putting it into another. And so I found joy in that as well, too. Okay. And so that's when I began to start creating the logos and creating and making people's pictures they take with their cell phones look like they've been in the studio somewhere, because of the editing skills that God gave me. And I started doing flyers, and that became fulfilling, because the creative side of me started coming out. And that's pretty much how the business started. I love marketing. I believe that whatever you put out there shows who you are. It's the first impression. So if you put something out there that looks, the word bootleg, everybody know what bootleg is. Look, cheap. Then you're not gonna get as many clients, because guess what? They're gonna feel you cheap. Right. And you're gonna put your hard work into it. But if you don't perfect and evolve, because this business is evolving. Yeah. You have to study. We use scripture, study to show thyself approved. But it's also worldly things too. You can't just study the Bible. You have to study worldly things too. And they both coexist with each other, because we're in this world. And so when God transform our minds and then renew our minds, we know how to take the things that's in this world and use them for God's will and use it for God's glory. We're not of this world. We don't partake in the things of this world, but we live in this world. We have to deal with it. So the world is evolving. Technology is evolving. Now they got a button where you can push and make everything AI.
Yep.
Well, there was a time where I had to go in and use this little tool to make you look skinny. And I would have to
make me skinny, Brandy.
Taking a little tool and pushing you in. And sometimes it would take some of the grass with you, or some of the background with you. And then sometimes I would have to cut you out. There was a tool that you go around the edges and you find cut. Now they got a button now. Made me so angry, because my teacher used to get on to me about my rough edges and stuff. You got a button now, you can push it and cut the whole person out. And I'm like, ain't that about some mess? So everything's evolving now. So when you're doing business and you have a job or a skill, you have to forever be training. You can't be stuck in the where they had film. Of course, you can still enjoy film, and I'm just using this as an example because this is what I do. Of course, you can still shoot film. There's a place in Monroe right above the old library. They got the history building. It's a history building, but it used to be the old library. They have a dark room up
Oh
there. And when
wow.
I was living in Monroe, I used to go to the dark room,
Okay.
finish class assignments or whatever, just the passion of doing it. But I still had to learn what these new cameras are doing. I still have to learn. Like a lot now, they're not even using cameras now. They're using cell phones.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody told me one time I could use my cell phone at a wedding. I said, you sure probably can. You sure probably
Wow.
can.
Well,
But
I remember because you did my son. We still have the photos. My son when he was 1 years old. So those are some precious memories. His first birthday party, his grandparents was here, and I remember my aunt passing away a couple weeks after his birthday party. So it was some great memories in that. So photography is very important. Like it's not just someone snapping pictures. So when you God give you those type of gift, no one should take it lightly. Yeah, you see it's a lot of photographers out there, but when God give you a gift, hey, you don't have to yeah, you got competition, but still that gift belongs to you.
and I
Everybody,
never
it's
received
just
that.
like a pastor. Some pastors are chosen, some just you know some just, oh, it's a gift.
It
So,
really is a gift. It really is a gift. And you really
yeah.
have to be chosen for it.
Hmm.
And you really have to be a people person. And you
Hmm.
have to understand that in business, everybody's not gonna like what you do.
Mm-mm.
Everybody's not gonna appreciate what you do, and you can't make everybody happy. Know your worth.
Mhm.
Know your worth, know who you are, know that you gave it your all, and put the rest of it where it may lay. Because it's gonna be some times that this thing gonna make you cry, sometimes it's gonna make you laugh, and sometimes it's gonna make you
Mhm.
smile, sometimes it's gonna make you frown. But knowing that you're waking up every day doing what you love,
Mhm.
it pushes you. It keeps you motivated. It keeps you going. I meet all types of people,
Mhm.
all kinds of people in all different platforms, hearing their stories and interacting with them. And I can look on my Facebook page right now, and all the people that's on my Facebook page, I've met every last one of them except for two.
Oh wow.
Every
Wow.
last one of those people that's on my friend, I have met them, have talked with them, have sat with them, have ate with them, have laughed with them. And I was actually sitting there looking at it. I was like, wow, I really literally like know these people. How many people can say that they actually friends on Facebook with the people, and majority of them they really do know? But I met them through photography. I met them through basketball. I met them through ministry. I met them through this thing called life, and very wonderful people. Even some people that didn't like me, and some people that did like me.
Mhm.
Eventually we wound up being okay. Like I say,
Mhm.
everybody's not gonna like you. Everybody's not gonna like what you do. It's not gonna always be easy, but it's worth it. It's worth to keep pushing because in these days and times, legacy, the thing that our grandparents, our great great grandparents, great 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 grandparents will leave for us, it's not left for these kids today. A lot of
Right.
us aren't teaching legacy. We're not teaching entrepreneurship. We're not teaching um, building family unity, family foundation. Most families,
Right.
most when people leave, most people aren't even leaving their stuff to their children
Mm-mm.
or their grandchildren. They're
Nope.
giving it to charities.
Yeah.
And my children saw the struggle of me and their dad, and they chose to walk in our footsteps because Sean Reed, Brandon's dad, Joshua's dad too, because don't let me say that he would see this live. um he was a videographer, and we made a good team. Now Brandon does videography, Brandon does photography, and he does music.
Okay.
He produced beats. He's only 16. He's about to be 17. Joshua's going to school, hopefully to SCAD, Savannah Artist, for photography. It's not something we forced them to do. It's not something that but because they saw the passion and the love that we had, they wanted to follow in our footsteps. And I asked my boys, I said, well, do you want me to start your own EIN? Start, because you can start doing this now, start making some money now, and they were like, no, we want to work under your business. And that meant something to me, because that means that what I done, I instilled in them.
Absolutely.
Children are watching. They're watching how you grind. They're watching how you talk. They're watching how you live. And even when you don't say something, they can feel it. There's been plenty of times I've been tired, burnt out, come home, lay across the bed, and they come in, Mom, you all right? Next thing you know, they bring me a plate of food. My children can cook, y'all.
Yes, that's.
But awesome. I have good boys, and I have, when you instill that into them, by your actions, not just by your words, you leave a legacy that nobody can take.
Absolutely.
So, you got any questions?
I love it. So I heard you talk about a lot of difficult times. Tell us about one of those times where in your life it was very difficult. Just tell us how you overcame it.
I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of people say, "Oh, it was nothing but God," but it really was. Because there were times where people didn't understand me. And for a while, I was a little erratic. What do I mean by erratic? I had control issues.
Gotcha.
I know I couldn't control other people. That I wasn't trying to control nobody else. I was trying to control me and control my atmosphere.
Gotcha.
And at the moment that I was placed in an atmosphere that I could control, I lost my mind. So through prayer, through my relationship with God, because there were times where religious people shut the door on me. Because you told, hey, you go to the church and the church gonna pray for you, and you go to the church and the church gonna help you. I'm not gonna say church, I'm gonna say religious folks, because the church is still yet to be established. Say that one more time, I'm preaching now. Yeah. The church is yet to be established, because the church is supposed to be what? Without spot, wrinkle, or blemish. So we're striving to be the church, and we're being perfected every day. So when we put our trust in man and we put our trust in people, people fail us. So when we put our trust in God, God will lead us and guide us into the understanding of why people do what they do and why they don't do what they do. So it won't affect you as much. And so when I was used to putting my trust into people and people fail me, I was then forced to put my trust into God through praying, through fasting, through reading my word, and asking God for the wisdom, the knowledge, learning me. Sometimes we fall out of love with us because we put so much time and effort into our children. We put so much time and effort into our husbands. We put so much time and effort into our friends, our cousins, aunties, uncles, jobs, that we lose ourselves.
Yeah.
And we lose being that little girl or that little boy that we promised ourselves that we would never lose when we got older. I'm never gonna be like my mom and daddy.
Right.
I'm never gonna be like my parents. And we wind up being just like our parents. Why? Because we were conditioned that way. And so we forget to love ourselves. We sometimes let our weight go. We sometimes let our hair go. Sometimes we don't buy stuff for ourselves, like clothes and things like that. We're constantly buying for our kids. We as women keep the house running, and protect our husbands and cover our husbands when they go through their stages of depression or go through their stages of sickness or whatever. And so it puts a lot on us. I had to learn to love Brandy. I lost Brandy for a minute.
Yeah.
I lost Brandy for a long minute. And it bothered me because what I saw myself doing, I'm not doing now. I'm supposed to be a doctor, girl.
Right.
I'm supposed to be a basketball coach, owning a team, and a doctor, honey. Well, the wonderful thing about it is I did coach basketball for a little while, but I am a coach and I am a doctor. I'm just a doctor in a different field.
Exactly. Exactly.
And God had to show me that. God had to teach me to love on me. And that's one of the hardest things for us to do is love on us. We
It
want
is.
everybody else to love us, but it's difficult for other people to even attempt to love us when we don't love us.
That is so true. Because if you don't love yourself, how can someone else love you the way you want to be loved? You know?
And I had a low self-esteem. A lot of people didn't
Mm.
know that. Coming up in school, everybody thought I was bold. Everybody, but I really did have a low self-esteem. I grew up in a household that I was told I was dumb and stupid and was never going to amount to anything.
Oh,
I
wow.
grew up in a household that I was told that I wasn't even wanted by my mom. I wasn't even wanted by my dad, and he didn't want me either. And so it's difficult. There are a lot of children out there, like my sisters, they were adopted except for one. My sisters, it's five of us. My sisters were adopted. So they went through their own trial and tribulations, and I'm not taking it away from what they went through. I can only imagine what they went through being brought up by other people who didn't love them the way that they needed to be loved. But for me, it's hard to be being brought up by someone who's your blood
Mm.
and didn't love you the way that you needed to be loved. I'm not saying he didn't provide for me. I'm not saying they didn't provide for me. I had the best clothes. I had the nicest cars. You know, people were on the outside looking in was jealous of what I had because it was physical. I was jealous of what they had because they had parents that loved them enough to let them find life or whatever. And don't get me wrong, I'm glad that my granddaddy kept me out of some stuff. Let me throw my hand. I'm glad
Yeah.
that he kept me out of some stuff.
Mhm.
But some things I felt hindered in that I had to learn later on in life. And so I had a low self-esteem. I didn't think I was pretty. Um, I always covered up. I was molested as a child. So I always covered up. And my molester forced me to molest my cousin. You know, so we went through that trial. That was a weight on me that I carried for years. Didn't release until I got older. You
Wow.
know, a lot of people would say I was doing things that I didn't do. I remember in high school, I had a boyfriend. He coerced me to go and watch a video with him in the bathroom and forced himself on me. I said no several times, but back then I didn't know that was rape.
Mm.
Back then, in my mind, you shouldn't have went in there anyway. So
Mm.
ain't nobody gonna believe you if you tell them you said no. And now I'm the whole of the town. We went from one boy to the whole football team to the whole basketball team. And so now I'm humiliated and I'm already got a low self-esteem. I already don't think I'm pretty. I already don't think I'm worth anything. I already think I'm dumb and I'm stupid because that's what I'm being told every day. You know,
Wow.
and so to overcome that mindset and to learn who I am and to learn whose I am,
Mhm.
I made sure I never allowed my children to endure that type of pain and type of suffering mentally when it came to living in a household where money fixed problems.
Mm.
I had a young lady ask me one time, "How did you become homeless?" I told them, you know, I'm going to share this. I remember people like you and your husband blessed me, blessed me, blessed my family. Never would have thought it. I used to look up to your husband so much. That man could sing. You hear me? Him and his brother, they could flat footed. I knew they were gonna have them a group and go off somewhere and just make millions of dollars. But those are the things that inspired me as a child. And then to have somebody that you admire bless you in a way that puts an imprint on your life. Y'all don't know, but people like y'all, where God was strategically placing people, dug me out of that hole. Never would have thought in a million years y'all would have blessed us the way that y'all did.
Oh.
But it was at the break of giving up. It was at the break of asking God to take me home. It was at the break of tiredness that just that small gesture said, you know what? It's still some good people out here.
Yeah.
You know, and that too helps you. It helps build you. If you know that somebody's going through something, help yourself. If you got it, you know what I'm saying? You don't know, $2 mean a lot to somebody that's going through something.
Yeah.
A hot meal means a lot to somebody that's going through something.
Mm-hmm.
Hand-me-down clothes mean a lot to somebody that's going through something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, me and my children, I lost everything in that house fire.
Mm-hmm.
And then after I lost everything in the house fire, I lost everything being evicted. And then after being evicted, I lost everything from bed bugs. I had to put everything outside, and then everything got wet and damaged. So I
Wow.
went through a lot, baby girl.
Oh,
But
wow.
what I've been through drove me to make sure that my children wouldn't have to continue to endure, and that their children don't have to endure. I'm
Yeah.
still building a business. I'm still building a brand. And when I
Yeah.
leave this world, I want that to continue. I want that seed that I planted to continue to grow with good measure. Because we can plant some bad seeds too, and they grow. You
Mm-hmm.
know, so I want to uproot the bad and replace it
Right.
with the good. Be positive. And it's so hard
Mm-hmm.
nowadays in this world, in this day and time, to be positive, woman of God. You
Yes.
know, I've watched you go through, and I'm not gonna tell your business or your story, but I watched you with your son. I watched you with your husband, and I watched you with your own stuff that you went through, and own stuff that you endured personally. Like I said, I ain't gonna tell your story, but I know it. God has showed me a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And how you do this,
Mm-hmm.
this right here means a lot. A platform where people can tell their story and their journey. They can help somebody else overcome what they're going through. They may be at a stagnant stage, or they may be just starting, or they may be up here but thinking about giving up. You have a platform that helps everybody on whatever level they're on. And I thank God for you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I just, you told a story about me and my husband. We never knew you felt that way, and we just love helping people. And if it, I met you through my husband. If he feel comfortable with someone, and I'm on board with it. So, I know you went through a lot, and who knows, what you're going through now, but I'm glad you continue to keep that motivation. So, like, what keep you motivation to pursue your passion in your career, for someone who's out there who's going through it and don't know how to continue that motivation to continue their chosen career?
My kids, definitely them boys. Honey. In today's time, well, even past today's time, little black boys have always been targeted.
Yes.
They've always been targeted. And whether it's through abuse, drugs, gangs, uh, homosexuality, identity crisis disorder, depression, suicide, our boys have to deal with all of that. And so my goal is to teach my boys how to be men
Mm-hmm.
so they can teach other boys through their life, not through their words, but through their life, how to be men. Well, how do you do that? You stand as a woman, showing them what type of woman to choose by you being the right type of woman.
Yes.
Showing them, what it means to love and to nurture. Teaching them, and the man that you connect yourself to does teach them
Mm-hmm.
how to be men. And sometimes we choose right, sometimes we choose wrong. you know but
Definitely.
whether we choose that right and that wrong, my grandmother taught me to respect, and taught me what was right and wrong in it and why, and taught me that you have to take the good with the bad. And so what motivates me is leaving a legacy again here. Somebody gonna look at their picture on their wall one day and say, Brandy Bonhart.
Yep.
And I can remember that day that this happened. Do you know that they use photographs to help people, Alzheimer patients, remember things?
Oh, wow.
They people that have trauma, that have head injuries, they take out an album and they let them look at the pictures, hoping that they will remember something, because your mind is it remembers things through what you see, what you take into your eye gate. That's why they say be careful what you take into your eye gate and your ear gate, right? Because what
That
goes
makes
into your
sense.
eyes go into your heart. So what you see can go down into your heart. So you can look at a picture and don't know anything about the artist, no anything about the photographer, but look at that picture, touch your spirit in a way that either makes you happy, sad, or angry.
Yep. Oh wow. That's deep. That's
And
deep. Like I
so,
never looked at it that way, but that's truly how it is. Even watching some movies. I forgot that movie with what's the girl named Drew? Where her and
Drew
the
Barrymore,
yeah. Yeah, she was married, then something happened, then he had to remarry her every day. He had to like
Adam
do stuff
Sandler,
over every day, show her pictures, and
mhm.
it was a beautiful movie.
And that's real. That type of disease is real, and that
Mhm.
does happen. You have to. Some people have early onset Alzheimer at the age of 20 and 30 years old. So imagining not having long term memory, but only having short term memory at that age, that you even forget your children if you've had them.
Right.
And that's a struggle that some people deal with, and
Mhm.
pictures and videos remind them. What if you have somebody like with me? Um, I didn't meet my mom until I was 16 years old. I found a picture of her hidden in the back of my grandmama's jaw. Shouldn't have been rambling, but I was
Yeah,
rambling.
since you were.
And I found this picture and I took it out of the drawer and I ran in there. I wasn't even thinking about that. I'm finna get a whooping for being in her drawer. But they had stuff in there I had no business looking at anyway. But I went in there and I got it and I said, "Who is this lady that looks just like me?"
Oh wow.
Because I look like my mom. I look like my dad too, but I look like my mom. And she just dropped her head and she said, "Wait till your dad come home." I knew I had a big daddy and I knew I had a little daddy and I knew I had a mama. I didn't know. I thought I was special. I thought I was different than other kids. I got two daddies and one mama, and you don't. Boom. Never thought that there was anything wrong with it, because when you're four, you know what I'm saying? You ain't into the schematics of the birds and the bees yet. You just, I'm special. You're not.
Right.
So they had to sit down and have that conversation with me about the lady that was in the picture.
Mm.
You get it?
Yeah.
So pictures say 1,000 words. They say
Yeah.
things. Sometimes you can look at a picture and see if somebody's going through depression.
Yeah.
You can. You can look at a picture and see that it's the happiest moment in somebody's life.
Mhm.
You can tell whether they're shy. When you look at your pictures and you look at your son's picture, do you not see your husband and you in?
Yes.
But
Everybody
do you
tell me
not
that
see some of
too.
his family members and some of
Mhm.
yours?
Mhm.
When you saw a picture of your grandmama or your great grandmama for the first time, did you not see some of you in there? And then that's when stories begin too. That's when story time. I remember when great great grandmama and great great grandpapa was on
Yep.
this, and then you get to learn a little bit about your family. It's a conversation starter as well.
Yeah.
And so that's why that what motivates me to leave a legacy in every home of your journey in your life.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. So tell me about some of your biggest supporters during your journey. I know your kids are, but do you have like any more supporters during your journey?
Tanya Bird, one of my
Okay, I heard that
biggest
name.
supporters, Apostle Tanya Bird. We found out
Okay.
we're cousins. We are cousins.
Okay.
Been knowing her. She's been knowing me since I was a baby.
Oh
Coming up
wow.
to church and knowing my grandparents, and she has supported me uh, no matter what. Flyers, logos, photography, ministry, dancing, marriage, children. My biggest supporter. Another friend of mine's, Reginald Haynes, Terrence Johnson. I know I'm just naming names that people don't know.
Mhm.
Biggest supporters. Pastor Edwin Beckles, biggest supporter. hit me up. Hey, sister, I need you, sister, to do a flyer for me, sister. You know, very support. You know, and I love him for it because he keeps me working. Because also in this business, there's some dry time,
Mm-hmm.
and money ain't coming in. You know,
Right.
but I don't do it for the money. I do it for the passion.
Mm-hmm.
So when he calls me and be like, sis, hey sis, I need you to, I'm like, I got you, you
Yeah.
know, and it keeps my creative mind flowing. Um, Pastor Pastor Kelton and Apostle Sandra Kelton, my children's grandparents, biggest supporters. And they have a daughter that does photography, you know,
Oh,
biggest supporter. You know, Chandra, she does great work. Another supporter, me and her don't as much YouTube, but Tabitha Bell, Prophetess Tabitha Bell, supported me. You know, promoted me when I needed money. You know, when I needed things, she got my name out there. And I'm sorry if I missed somebody. Because you know when you get the name and names, you miss some
mm-hmm.
people, you
Yes.
know. But I do want to thank everybody who has supported me, who believed in my gift and in my talents, and know that they could pick up the phone and call on me and say, "Hey, if anybody can do it, I know that you can do it." And
Yeah.
that makes me feel good. It keeps me humble as well too, because I know these people could call anybody.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of good people out there. You looking at Reginald Terry, who's a great sports photographer. I like the
Yeah.
way he's grown so much with his
He
dark,
has.
the way that he does photography. He's more of a dark type of vintage type versus me. I
Mm-hmm.
like my colors to pop. L1 Mayweather, awesome photographer.
Yeah.
Keisa, what is her married name? Gibson, uh, or Gibbs. It's Gibbs, Keisa Gibbs. Great photographer. You know, people that's in my field, videographer. You're looking at John, with Psalms 27, who does video, great videographer. You know, these are people that
I know she coming back this time. I don't know. If she's coming back, I don't know what happened. Maybe she'll pop back on. But how you guys enjoying it out there? Are you all still able to hear me?
there we go. I don't know why my wife I want to
Oh,
act
there she
funky.
goes. You back?
Yes, I don't know why my wife I want to act funky when I get to talking about these people. But you don't want me to
Normally
promote
it's
these
me, and I was
people.
like, is it me or her?
You don't want me to promote these people. I believe in promoting other people. It ain't all about me. It ain't all about me. The wonderful thing, another two, the key to success is having a network of people that when you can't do something, that you shoot them a bone as well too.
Yeah,
Because honestly, to be totally honest with you, um, some of us want to harbor things and hold things to ourselves, but we got to support one another. You know what I
absolutely.
mean? I had got a phone call one time to do something at a church. I haven't done because I also do the visual stuff at the church. They
Hmm.
call it live streaming, where you do the Facebook and do the virtual and have the names going across the screen and the videos. I know how to do those things. I've been out of that game now though, honestly, for about 14, 15 years. Things have changed tremendously. I never was the one that set it up. My ex-husband was. So when I was asked to come on recently to do a job, I called Deacon Favors. I was like, look, I've been out this game for a long time, but I want to help these people.
Hmm.
So he said, well, you know who did it after you left Chestnut Grove? I said, no. He said, John. I said, oh, John do it. He said, yeah. I said, call him up. We have to be willing to toss someone else a bone,
Yeah,
especially when you haven't been in the game or in that area or in that field. Because if I would have took that job and not had him come along, I would have botched it. Because
right.
I've been out the game for a while. I mean, when I say a while, live stream and what is that doggone thing called? I remember it after we get out the after live, but it's a specific program that churches use to do their live streaming and stuff on. I had been out the game so long, I didn't even know some of the stuff you can do from home now. Like, it's crazy. You know,
Wow.
you can even be on site. You could hit a button and record from there. Like,
Right.
crazy. You know,
Mm-hmm.
but this is stuff that he knew because he stayed up to date in it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so we have to do that. We have to have a network of people. Let's say, for instance, I'm on a photography gig. Instead of burning myself out, I'd already done 3 shoots in one day. Toss the ball to somebody else that you know that's on the same level or caliber that you are on. You know, say,
Right.
hey, I might not be able to send one of my partners. You know, partner with people.
Mm-hmm.
Because partnering with people, they'll throw you a bone, you throw them a bone, and it
Yep.
keeps the cycle going. And then talk to people, have lunch with people, sit down and
Mm-hmm.
say, hey, let's go out for lunch and pick their brains. You know,
Yep.
sit down and have a conversation. You throw them some nuggets, they throw you some nuggets, and you keep your business alive. Because if you hold everything to yourself and you die with it, then you definitely ain't gonna leave a legacy for nobody.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That is so true. A lot of people don't know how to network. We talk a lot about, women empowerment, this and that, and people don't know. People are, I don't know. I don't want to use the word selfish, but maybe yeah, that could be it.
Yeah, it's selfish.
Selfish, very selfish, and not understanding that could be, that can bless your business, even though you're saying, hey, either I'm booked or hey, I do photography, but I'm not on. I don't have what I don't offer what you need. So, but I do know somebody. But if you do that, then they can send people to you. Hey, she does this, she does this. They can send her your way. So people need to network that way so they can know what everyone
Yeah,
does.
definitely
So
need to
I
network.
always have like a group of friends that does taxes, does this and does that. And when anyone asks me, hey, this person does credit, this person does this person, and we should be able to do that to walk this journey together and be able to, hey, shoot
My
somebody.
goal
Oh,
at one point, not to cut you off, my goal at
you're
one
good.
point in time was to have people to have a videographer, photographer, have a
Mhm.
tax person, have a graphic design person, have a person that could do hair, have a person that could do nails, have a person that could do makeup. Because when I do a wedding, that bride gonna need a makeup artist.
Yeah.
She gonna need somebody to design the event, what they call them, event planners.
Yeah.
Um, and that way we can all be working. We all
Yeah.
eat. One eat, we all eat. That's how
Yeah.
it should be. And a lot of times what the problem and the issue is we sit back and we judge Mexicans, we judge Asian
Mhm.
people.
Yeah.
We sit back and we talk about these people. We even talk about Caucasians. But among our community is the most jealous people ever I found because
Mhm.
they definitely work together. They might be
Mhm.
at odds, but when it comes to making that money, baby, they're gonna make that money. You know, I
Yes.
was working at a gas station one time. Very inspiring for me. Joshua was just born. And 3 weeks after he was born, I went to work, baby, because my baby had to have stuff. I wasn't waiting on his daddy. I wasn't waiting on none of that. Me and his daddy wasn't
Mhm.
together, and I wasn't even studying about what he was doing. Why? Because I
Mhm.
chose to have this baby. I chose to lay down with this man and get this child. So I got to go out here and do what I got to do. I ain't finna sit back and complain and worry about it. I'm in the gas station, and there were at least 25 Mexicans standing in line,
Mhm.
and another man standing to the side. They all had $5 bill in their hand, and they all had something that equaled up to that $5. Nothing went on,
Wow.
and he was standing there. And when the one come up, he would speak to him in their language. He would tell them how much I said it was. He would explain to them what was in their hand, and then he would interpret what I was giving them back and why I gave them that much back. He was teaching them how to count.
Wow.
And I asked him, I said, what you doing? I said, every week you come in here and y'all come in here and there be a group of y'all. What is you doing? He said, well, we all live together. I said, all y'all live together? He said, yeah, them and the families. I said, why in the world would you? He said, because that's how you build legacy. He said, all of us live together, and when all of us can move, then we move. And we get our own place, and then we bring in more families. and we do the same thing until everybody has their own. Which means if I got all my money up and I can move out, I can't move out because my brother can't go nowhere. So we got to continue to stack money until everybody can leave. Wow. Okay, now that we can leave, I'm going to pay it forward. I'm going to bring in some more people. We get mad at the concept, and they'll take jobs that we won't even take. But guess what? They're building legacy while we're studying tearing the next one down. Well, I can do better than her in photos. Or I can do better than him in photos. Or I can do better than them in taxes. Take it from somebody else is not the way to do it. But throwing somebody a bone and saying, hey, I got too many clients, but I know this person, they can do the same caliber of work as I do or better.
Right.
You know, that's how we make it. Back in the day when we were growing up, auntie, uncle, cousins all lived in one house together. Now we can't even stand to sit in line at McDonald's together. Nobody sit in line at McDonald's together. So how are we gonna even run a business together? And we can't even sit in line in the different car. They in another car and you in another car. You talking about they came to McDonald's because I was at McDonald's. I don't know why they sit behind me. It ain't about you. We just wind up beside McDonald's. But right. And it saddens me because if we all could have that same mindset to pay it forward and to push one another into their legacy, we would be so much greater and so much better. The world would turn a little bit better, and we would be able to sleep a little bit better at night, knowing that hey, somebody got me for real.
Right. That is so true. And I think when one of my business partner was talking about that just the other day, my little cousin here, Tiara, she said she's right. We was talking about that, how individuals, you know, us, you know who us is, right? How we can't stand to stay with each other. We can't stand to, she ain't popped out on me again. You know how we can't live together. And look, if I had 2 more families in this house, the mortgage would be a little cheaper.
Right, but we can't even stand to go to the refrigerator and get mad that somebody done drunk the juice, and now we ain't paying the rent because you drunk my juice. No, it ain't like that. We should be a unit. You know what I mean? Because my sister stay here with me now. You know what I'm saying? The only reason why I'm trying to push her out because I know she needs her own. You know, but ultimately she could stay with me forever if she wanted to. I wouldn't have a problem with it. Because I'm facing my life now where I know that we're gonna need each other. It's gonna come a time that's gonna go back to those times, and we're gonna be out here planting vegetables and tomatoes and stuff, and we're gonna be having somebody have to sit out there and look out to make sure nobody steal it. It's gonna come time, and so while we're behind in helping one another, everybody else is up to date. You know, and if us as women. Jealousy and hatred, and envy. It's hard for us to come together as women. I co-parent with Sean Reed, my ex-husband, and his wife. I call her my baby mama. She's my baby mama. She called me baby mama. They just had a newborn baby. Well, he ain't newborn. He wasn't now, but he's still fresh. You know, that's my baby. You know, there's no differences in the children. And people wonder how we get along so well. We get along well because there's a common purpose. The common purpose is to raise these children up in an environment that's safe, healthy. Screw what we did to each other, because we 2 grown people did that to each other. But we're trying to build men. That's right, unity. We're trying to build men. Okay, well, my ex-husband, I do the same thing with my husband's baby mama. She my baby mama, and her husband is my baby daddy, and we talk all the time and laugh. And it's unorthodox for some people, but guess what? Whatever went on between him and her was before my time. That ain't got nothing to do with me, baby. I'm not threatened, nor am I feel whatever. You know, we're trying to raise children. We're trying to raise young men and young women to be successful, and we got to show them what a family unit look like. Because regardless of whether you like it or not, she's family. Why? Because his blood done ran through her veins. So if I'm a part of him, then I gotta be a part of her.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's how it should be. But we can't even do that in a natural realm. How we gonna do that in the business aspect? True. I don't like them. Why they coming to my store? Because it's money.
Right.
And you got a product. And I need your product. Get outside yourself and let me
Exactly.
I don't want to go over there because I don't like them. That's the only, you rather ride 45 minutes down the road than to give somebody that you say you don't like that money and they 10 minutes down the road. You know how much gas you just wasted for your car? You know how much time you set in traffic for your ride? You can't go that out the door and feed them kids that woman got or that man got, or put a roof over their head so they won't have to go down to the defects office and get help.
Exactly.
I want to talk about the people that said the defects office is getting help, but then you don't want to be the one to help them.
Exactly.
I just understand. And that's what pushed me and drive me. Sometimes I do flyers for free.
Yes, you do. I know when my business came out, I just saw some in my inbox. I was like, "Thank you, Brandy." They are, so I love them. I pass them out all the time. Like she did 2 flyers for me, and they were so nice. And at that time, I didn't even know you did graphic design. There was something new.
Something
So
new.
you get your business out there, and look, I got a team full of individuals that's gonna need you.
Well, I'm sure gonna raffle me. Send them on my way.
Yes.
You know, I didn't do that. I didn't do that for this. Hey.
Look, she just said, "Hey, Brandy, look, Tiara needs you."
I got you, sis. Hit me up in my inbox. But, anything in return, and I didn't do it because you had blessed me. I did it because God laid it on my heart to do. You know, and a lot of times when you see someone that's trying to do business and try to promote themselves, I saw the stress that you had trying to do your own flyers and run your business and deal with a baby that like I say, I'm gonna tell you business, trying to hold back, but dealing with
you good. You good.
dealing with a baby with autism and dealing with a husband that's sick. You know what I mean? And him trying to still do music and still get his music off the ground. It becomes difficult and sometimes stressful trying to push your own business. So if somebody can bless you with the marketing end, it only takes one flyer, one business card, and you're off. You can refresh that later when you make money. But at the end of the day, it's a start. And if people would do that more often, hey, I see that this person throwing a birthday party, their family member or a family friend or somebody that I know, and they struggling, you know what I'm saying, getting the cake. And that's the most important part of a child's birthday party is the cake. Everybody wants the cake.
Yes.
And so they done got all the decorations and everything. Then if you're a baker, bake that cake. Because guess what? Somebody at the party gonna be like, who made this cake?
Right.
Well, how much you charge? I don't know how much you charge because I ain't gonna sell her prices, but here's her card and here's her information. And that's how you promote yourself. You know, you can promote yourself that way too. A lot of my free flyers that I did for people wasn't expecting it, but what I did brought more clients.
Yeah.
I did a flyer for Pastor Beckles for Pastor Young, and somebody hit me up on my phone and was like, I saw your number on one of your flyers, and I was like, oh you did? Like, yeah, I like what I saw. Can you come? I got an appointment Saturday by word of mouth, by blessing somebody. Somebody said, hey, I don't know what her prices is, but she's really good at what she do. Same thing with you. You know, life coaching. Hey, I know somebody that's really good at life coaching, honey. They will help you get through all your financial and emotional struggles. Let me send her to you.
Yes. Yes.
You get it? Because that's what helps us keep thriving and keep going. And it keeps us fresh too.
Yes.
You know, because this thing can get a little boring sometimes. And it becomes a weight sometimes because you're doing the same thing over and over again. But if you're getting clients and you're interacting with different people, it keeps you pushing.
It does.
Stories keep you pushing. Because, you know, if I was to tell all my stuff, you'll be like, Dad, girl, because I got a book. Broken Pieces Have Purpose.
Yes, write that book. We need it.
But let me tell you something. I never touched drugs a day in my life till I met my second husband. He introduced me to drugs without me knowing that he was introducing me to drugs. He was doping me. You know, and for a while there, my business plummeted because I was emotionally not there. You know, and at the moment that I woke up and saw myself in the mirror one day, I was like, girl, God said, are you tired? I was like, darn right. Dust yourself out. And I never had to go to a rehab. I never had to do anything. For 3 years, I was on cocaine.
Oh, wow.
Nobody knew it.
Wow.
Nobody knew it. You know, tried to hide it very well. But God was talking to me the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes when we leave people out on their own, sometimes when we don't reach out and do a mental check, the world will take you in
Yes.
to get you away from your purpose
Mm-hmm.
and where God is taking you. The
Mm-hmm.
world, you're not a part of the world, but because the world embraced you, that's what you fall into.
Yeah.
What you surround yourself with, if your light ain't bright enough, you'll eventually become.
Yeah.
No matter how strong you are,
Yep.
no matter how strong you are, if you're constantly around that,
Mm-hmm.
eventually you're gonna be a part of that. And
Yep.
that's
It's
what your
gonna draw
parents
you.
tell you. You know what I'm saying? Don't be over there around such and such and such, cause you're gonna be, nah, I ain't gonna be like that. But if you're around it enough
Mm-hmm.
and you left with it enough, and everybody else who think they better than you and think that they got it going on, they got time for you and got time for your woes, but they do. And
Mm-hmm.
that's how you fall into traps.
Yeah.
So do a mental health check on. I was
Yes.
just calling to see how you was doing. I don't want to know.
Yes. That's really good.
I don't want to know your business, but I was just checking on you because you look a little tired, girl. You know, you need to
Mm-hmm.
put some,
A little
macaroni,
out of it, like
some
what's going
filler.
on?
I'll make you laugh in a minute. Man. Let me tell you something. I'm sitting up here talking to y'all, and one of my nails popped off. I was sitting here like, oh, okay, well, mental health check.
Yes.
It's gonna be all right, baby. It's gonna be all right. Just do it back on later because I can't afford to get my nails done every 5 to 6 weeks. So
I
I'm
know,
gonna
right?
come on, glory be to God. But you gotta learn the budget as well too. You gotta know because
Girl, I said, look, me and my friend, let's talk about that. I got a photo shoot this weekend. I got to pop mine on because I ain't got time to be getting them. They gonna be cute like I went to the salon.
Girl, these fingers right here look like I just got them done. Did they not?
Right.
This one
Yep.
popped off. I ain't got to do nothing but press it back on. You spend I went to the nail salon about 3 months ago because I wanted to treat myself. Cause it's good to sometimes go treat yourself. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But girl, I got that thing done by the time they got through with my feet, my toes, and my eyebrows arching them, baby. That was almost $230. I said, when did nails go up? It used to be $50 for the nails, $20 for the toes. What in the world? Yes, press ons, baby.
You must have been saying, yeah, you was comfortable in that massage chair, and they could say, you want the silk press? And you said, yes. You want the silky? Yes. And that price kept going up.
Girl, before you know it, I done had gel nails on the toes and the hands, girl. Before you know it, I done had hot rocks on my legs, girl. And my eyebrows looking like this by the time I walked out there.
I be
But
like, Kim Wong, how much is this, Kim Wong?
right.
You fun, honey. You fine. No, I'm not Kim Wong. Don't put that
No,
on. How
don't.
much?
But guess what, baby? If I had someone that I knew that was a real good friend of mine that did nails and toes, that $215 should have went to them and not King Wong down there. And I'm not knocking they hustle because they do a great job. You know what I'm saying? But if
It's
I'm
a
gonna pour my
family. When
money,
you walk in now, they all doing it together. You'll have that one person. Hey, get this person. Go that. They doing it together. We need to learn how to work like that.
that's the key. That's the key to success.
Mm-hmm.
They our people too. They our cousins. They got the same skin complexion that we do. They just hip to the game. They working the game better than we are. We too and I'm gonna say it, and I'm gonna get we too ignorant and too prideful to want to help one another.
Yes.
Shadon Walker been doing my hair since high school when she was learning how to do hair in cosmetology in high school and in the technical track, because you know back then they had a technical track and they had a college track. Now they got these other stuff. I don't forget what it called. My son said someone else, and that's technology track, and he said no, it's college, but it's a different form of I said okay, whatever. And so I'm saying this to say that I support her business now. She don't do my hair now because Shantae, who also did my hair when Shadon couldn't do my hair now. You know, I can't get to Monroe, but I can walk to Shantae shop right down here in Conyers, Georgia.
Right.
I support Shantae, and Shantae has a business where she was the first Black to own a hair store that provide hair care products. She's got her own beauty shop right here in Conyers. You hear what I'm saying to
Oh
you?
wow.
But you go to Ling Ling right down the street when you got a black owned business right here. You know, support her too. You can still
Mm-hmm.
go to Ling Ling because Ling Ling
Right.
got a better wig selection. But
Yep.
but but she got the hair care product and she do your hair. She pulled it off the shelf and put it in your hair and treat your hair. Do you see how great and pretty my hair is?
It
She
is.
grow my hair back.
Oh wow.
I won't let nobody else in my hair but Shantae, Tanika Riley, who braid my hair.
Uh-huh.
Did. I support my sisters, you know what I mean, and I encourage them, and I send other people their way. You know, these young girls. My niece, well, not my niece, my cousin daughter, she does nails, she does t-shirts. My niece slash cousin, because she really my cousin, that Melvin daughter. She
Okay.
makes bracelets. She makes bracelets, for kids, and she uh do the ripped shirts and the dyes, and she takes the shoes and Crocs, and she designed the Crocs. You
Oh
know,
wow.
I ain't got no little girls, but I bought a bracelet from her. Why? You know, and I don't even wear them, but I wear it every now and then to support her. You
Right.
know, we support one another. Keon Cakes. A lot of folks say they don't like Keon, but Keon Cakes side of me. I love that girl on the prowl, honey. Get me some doggone Keon Cakes. Cause I ain't gonna do nothing but spending that Krispy Kreme right down the street.
Exactly.
So why
Exactly.
not?
I be
You
looking
know?
at the hot sign too.
Oh, let's keep it real. Let's keep it
Right.
real. I know we're here to talk about my business and we're here to talk about my journey, but this is part of my journey. Helping other people who started out at a low moment trying to make it. Ray, I think it's Ray J, something in Monroe Soul Food. Went to school with the young lady uh over there by where the old food line is. Went to school with her. Her mama opened up a business. They didn't know it, but me and my husband at the time, we didn't have a lot of money to eat with. And a lot of times we'd go in there and we'd buy stuff for the kids and share one plate. And they would add more food onto our plate. Didn't even know that they were blessing us.
Oh.
You understand? Stuff like that
Yeah.
means a lot, that keeps you going. So now that I'm my own business owner and I own several businesses. But now that I'm my own business owner, I make sure I pay it forward. I help somebody else because in my time of need, I was helped too. You know,
Right.
and not only that, but I also think about what if it was me? Would I want that help?
Absolutely.
Would I want somebody to throw me a naked? You
Right.
know, but I won't. I told somebody one day. I said, you know, no offense. I love y'all, but I'm not putting your flyers on my page if they don't look like what I could. I'm not putting it on my face. I'm not
Yeah.
asking you to come to me. And I would love to support you, but you need to go pay somebody to do that because that don't look professional. And the
Right.
moment that I put it on my page, then somebody gonna think I did it and I had a rough day, and it's gonna discredit all the work that
Yeah.
I have done. I'm
Yeah.
not doing it. You don't
Yeah.
see that.
I don't share everything on my page either because that's your brand, you
That's
know, and
your brand.
yeah. Yep. You got to protect your brand. Look, we're a little over time, and I really
I
enjoyed this.
enjoy it too.
Brandon, we definitely got to have you back. This was really great. Look, we got to come back. Look, you guys, if you're in the Georgia area, I think most
You
of
don't
you
have to be in the Georgia area. You can
okay for the photos, though, right? Oh, you go out for the photos too? You
girl,
travel?
honey, my kid
Okay.
19. I need to catch a flight, boo boo.
Okay, so she take flights too. So if you are in need, and make sure you follow her. She's definitely on the Journey of Success page. So find her, send her a friend request. Make sure you're following her. You need some graphic design. She is the bomb at it. I love it. I love it. She made me some flyers to even give out. I go to the gas station. Hey, I'm giving them out. So make sure you follow her. She's the bomb. So definitely, Brandy, we gotta have you back. So make sure you share this page, this on your page. And so, okay, so good having you. And everyone, y'all have a blessed night. And we'll see you next Thursday with the Journey of Success.
Bye.